Hey fashion lovers, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing great. So I would like you to join me. Let's continue with the sewing part of this, our gypsy or peasant gown. If you have not yet watched the cutting part, please click on the link at the description box below so you can watch the cutting part and be able to understand the sewing part. So dear viewers, if this is what you are in for, just grab your seat, make yourself comfortable because this is going to be an interesting video. So let's dive into the sewing process. So this is the parts we already cut in the previous video. We have the center front, the side front, and the back part. We also had our sleeves, and all these parts have their linings already cut. So I'm bringing in now the lower part, which is made up of 3 steps, all straight, and they are going to be gathered on each other. Each step is longer than the previous step so that we can have enough gathers. So this is the last step and the second step. So we are going to gather this last step on this second step. And then we are also going to bring in the first step, which is the shortest. And we are going to gather this second step or middle step on it. So we have a lot of gathers or pleats to do. So I'm going to take it to my machine and do it there. So this is the outcome. I decided to use pleats instead of gathers. So these are my pleats. I've already pleated my 6 yards long step. That is the last step on the second one, which is 4 yards. These are the pleats, as you can see. So the next thing I'll do is to keep that one aside, and then I'm going to prepare my sleeves by placing the lining good sides facing each other, and I'll sew the lower part. So I'm going to turn it over and iron and keep it aside. So the next part we are going to move to is the front part. We are going to join the 3 front parts. That is the 2 side fronts. We are going to join it to the center front like so. So this is how I'm going to place it and then stitch it. So I'm going to flip it over and stitch it from the waistline going upwards. After that, I'm going to notch the underbust. The same thing we did to the Ankara, we are going to do to the lining. And we are going to notch the underbust. So this is our center front and side fronts already joined together, both the Ankara and the lining. So you can see the bustier is already showing, and these are our sleeves already ironed. So I'm going to join it together with the lining and weave the edges. So for the back part, we are simply going to attach the lining of each back part to it and stitch it all round. We are not going to turn the neck with the lining since we are going to be attaching a mandarin neckline on this gown. So we are going to place the lining on the wrong side and stitch it all round. So back to our front piece, we are going to attach the breast cups. So I begin by folding it into 2 and notching it both up and down to mark the center. So I'm going to use my needle and thread to stitch it. So for this project, I decided to attach my breast cup on the Ankara itself. You can either attach it on the Ankara or you can attach it on the lining. So this round part is going to be placed at the under bust. You can move away from the under bust by 1/2 inch. That is, from the under bust notch, you go up by 1/2 inch, and then you stitch your breast cup on the seam allowance only. It's not supposed to show on the good side of the fabric. So I'm stitching it on the allowance only. So this round part is placed at the under bust, while the flat side is facing upwards. It's at the over bust area. So after stitching, I'm going to knot it, and I'll cut my thread, and then I'll go ahead to arrange my breast cup so I can stitch the upper notched area on my allowance as well. So I arrange it and make sure there is no creases or it's not too tension. So after arranging, I'll flip it over and I'll stitch it on the allowance only. So you can as well do this on the lining. But for this project, I said let me do it on the fabric itself. So I'm done stitching the breast cup. I'm going to move over to the next breast cup and I'll repeat the same process. So this is our breast cups, neatly sewn. This is how it looks on the good side. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place the lining on it, both sides facing each other, and I'm going to stitch it all around. So we are not also going to turn this front neck. We are going to just attach it like that because we are going to attach a mandarin neckline to it. So after weaving the edges of my pieces, I'm going to begin gathering this on the upper part. This is the first step of the gathers. Take note, your writings on the fabric should face upwards. It should not be upside down. So if you are using a fabric with writings on it, please make sure you are very vigilant so that your writings should not face downward. So for the back part as well, I'm going to gather each side on its upper part so that I can attach my zipper at the back part. So I'm going to attach it like so using my pleats. So this is the front part with the first step already attached to it using pleats. So I'm bringing in my back part now. And the next thing I'll do is to attach the zipper at the center back. So I'm going to take it to the machine and attach the zipper. So this is my zipper, neatly attached with the waistline well aligned. So I'm now going to join the front and back parts together, good sides facing each other. And I'll go ahead to attach my sleeves as well, and then close up the sides. So this is the gown. My sleeves already attached, as you can see, and I've closed the sides as well. So after attaching this first step, we are going to bring in the other two steps that we already attached together. So this is the second and third steps, which are already having their pleats. So we are going to attach this second step now to the first step using pleats as well. So we are going to do a lot of pleating till it goes round this first step. So I've gone ahead and done all the pleating. As you can see, our 3 steps are now together. You can see that the lower part of this gown is really big. Really big. You can imagine the circumference is 6 yards. So the next thing we are going to do is to cut our neck. So we are going to measure the neck round from the center back through the front part all round back to the center back. So it's giving me 18 inches. So we are going to cut our mandarin neck using this 18 inches. And for this dress, I'm making it 180 degrees. I'm folding my fabric, and then I'll use that 18 inches to get my radius. So I'm going to divide 18 inches divided by 3.14, which is the formula for getting your radius for 180 degrees. So after dividing, it gives me roughly 6 inches. So I'm going to be measuring 6 inches from this angle. I'm going to measure 6 inches all round. So I'm taking it slowly so that you can understand well. So this is our radius of 6 inches. So I'm going to measure it all round to make sure that it gives me half of 18, which is 9 inches, and allowance for my press button. So this is the allowance of 1 inch, which is just okay. So I want this neck to be 1 inch high. So I'm measuring the height of 1 inch. So take note, we are measuring the height going upwards or inwards and not outward from our first line. So this is our neck, and I'm going to give a ½ inch of sewing allowance on both sides, both up and down, so that by the time I finish sewing, my neck will be 1 inch high. So I'm going to cut it out. And then I'll also go ahead to cut the lining exactly as the main fabric. So I'm using the same Ankara fabric to cut the lining. So after cutting, I'm going to open it up. I'll place the Ankara and the lining good sides facing each other, and I'm going to sew the upper part like this and also close the edges. So this is it. I've already sewn and also notched it all round. As you can see, the edges are closed. So I'm going to flip it over, arrange it very well, and then I'm going to have it well pressed. So this is it. I've already ironed it properly, and I've folded 1/2 inch inwards on the lower part so that the sewing can be very neat. So I'm going to bring in our already sewn dress and begin to pin the neck all round. So I'm going to open the neck, send in the lower part or the neckline of the gown inside, and I'm going to pin it all through and then stitch it all round. So I'll pin it all through and make sure it's okay before I begin sewing. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stitch it all round. And that is it. Very neat. Can you see that neck? It's looking very neat. So I'm going to attach my press button at the back. So guys, what do you think about this peasant gown? Tell me in the comment section. Thank you for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and also comment on the comment section. Let me know your views. And if there's any style you want to learn, please do not hesitate to write it down at the comment section. Who knows, maybe that can be our next tutorial. Thank you for watching again. Bye-bye. I love you all.